A humble arrival. The midday sun shimmered against the sleek facade of Luxury Motors, a premier dealership located in the heart of Sunville. The lineup of luxury vehicles outside gleamed like jewels, each promising sophistication and opulence. Inside, the hum of air conditioning blended with the faint chatter of employees. The faint scent of leather and car wax filled the space, a symbol of wealth and privilege. Snoop Jackson, a renowned entrepreneur and the new owner of Luxury Motors, stepped out of his modest SUV parked in the backlot. Dressed in a plain gray hoodie, slightly worn jeans, and sneakers, his appearance was deliberately understated. He wanted to observe his business without the filter of formality. Today, he wasn't Mr. Jackson, he was just another customer. As he entered the showroom, the polished floors reflected the rows of luxury cars. Employees glanced briefly at him before returning to their conversations, their attitudes indifferent at best. One, however, took notice: Elena, the dealership manager. Her sharp blazer and polished demeanor exuded authority, but her expression turned skeptical as her eyes swept over Snoop's casual attire. "Can I help you?" Elena's tone was polite, but edged with impatience. Snoop smiled. "Just looking," he said, gesturing toward the display of vehicles. Her gaze lingered, assessing him. "Are you interested in buying?" she asked, her skepticism apparent. "Something like that," Snoop replied casually. Elena's smile tightened. "Our inventory caters to a specific clientele. Most of these vehicles require pre-qualification." Snoop raised an eyebrow, his calm demeanor unshaken. "You're assuming I'm not qualified?" Elena hesitated before responding. "I'm just trying to save you some time," she said, turning to a nearby employee who called her over. Snoop chuckled softly, shaking his head. This wasn't the first time he'd encountered such assumptions, but he wasn't here to confront. Yet, he let the interaction play out, curious to see how far it would go. Assumptions in action. Minutes later, Elena returned, a clipboard in hand. Her brisk strides and forced smile betrayed irritation. "I've compiled some options that might be more suitable for you," she said, handing Snoop a printout. The list featured pre-owned vehicles, each with price tags far below the dealership's usual inventory. Snoop's lips twitched in faint amusement as he scanned the page. "Appreciate the effort," he said, folding the paper and slipping it into his pocket. "Look," Elena continued, her voice dropping slightly, "I'm just being realistic. Luxury Motors isn't for everyone. I don't want to waste your time." Snoop's calm expression remained. "What exactly makes you think I'm not your target customer?" Elena hesitated, the crack in her composure widening. "It's just experience. I've been doing this a long time, and I can tell when someone's out of their depth." "Out of my depth?" Snoop repeated, his tone thoughtful. "Interesting." Her irritation flared visibly. "If you're serious, we can set up a meeting with a sales consultant. Otherwise, I'll have to ask you to leave." Snoop nodded. "Fair enough," he said, pulling out his phone. "Let me call the owner and let them know I'm here." Elena's confidence faltered. "The owner?" she echoed, her tone skeptical. "That's right," Snoop replied, scrolling through his contacts. "Shouldn't take long." The truth revealed. The sound of the showroom's glass doors opening drew everyone's attention. Vincent, the dealership's regional director, entered, his polished suit a stark contrast to Snoop's casual attire. His gaze immediately found Snoop. "Mr. Jackson," Vincent said warmly, extending his hand. "Good to see you." The room fell silent. Elena froze, her clipboard slipping slightly from her grasp. Her eyes darted between Snoop and Vincent, realization dawning. "Wait, Mr. Jackson?" she stammered. Vincent's tone turned sharp. "He's the new owner of this dealership." Elena's face turned pale as she took a step back. I didn't know," she whispered. Snoop's calm gaze met hers. "Didn't know what? That someone like me could own a place like this?" Elena's mouth opened, but no words came out. Setting the tone, Snoop called the staff into the conference room. The sleek space, designed for professionalism, now felt tense. Snoop stood at the head of the table, his presence commanding. "I came here dressed casually for a reason," Snoop began. "I wanted to see how this dealership operates when no one knows who I am. What I experienced was disappointing." He let the silence hang before continuing. This isn't just about me. It's about every customer who walks through those doors. From now on, respect and inclusivity will define how we do business. Accountability and change. Weeks later, the dealership underwent significant changes. Mandatory training on customer service and bias became the norm. Elena, though embarrassed, embraced the lessons, determined to rebuild trust. One afternoon, Snoop noticed her warmly assisting a young artist, a stark contrast to her previous demeanor. It was a small but meaningful victory, signaling the cultural shift he envisioned. Leading by example. In a staff meeting, Snoop addressed the team. We're not just selling cars. We're building relationships. How we treat people matters more than what we sell. His words resonated, inspiring a renewed sense of purpose. Luxury Motors was no longer just a dealership. It was a place where respect and integrity drove success. Lessons from the story. Never judge a book by its cover. The story underscores the dangers of making assumptions about people based on appearances. Snoop's casual attire led to unfair treatment, highlighting how bias can blind us to someone's true potential or worth. Respect as a core value. Every person, regardless of their appearance or background, deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. This lesson is vital not only in business, but in everyday interactions. Leadership through action. Snoop demonstrated that true leadership involves addressing flaws head-on and fostering a culture of respect and inclusivity. His willingness to lead by example created meaningful change. Accountability leads to growth. Elena's journey from bias to understanding shows that acknowledging mistakes is the first step toward personal and professional development. The power of a fresh perspective. Snoop's undercover visit revealed underlying issues in the dealership's culture. His approach serves as a reminder that seeing things through the eyes of others can uncover valuable insights. Inclusivity breeds success. A business thrives when it creates an environment that values diversity and treats every customer as deserving of respect and fairness. Change starts at the top. Leaders set the tone for an organization. Snoop's commitment to inclusivity and fairness reshaped the culture of the dealership. Actions speak louder than words. By addressing the issue directly, Snoop didn't just talk about respect, he showed what it looks like in practice. This story is a powerful reminder of the importance of challenging our biases and striving for a more inclusive world. It's inspiring to see how one person's leadership can create a ripple effect, transforming attitudes and building a better environment for everyone. The story also highlights the courage it takes to stand up for what's right and lead with integrity, even in the face of resistance. Inspired by Snoop Jackson's journey? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Story Precious. Together, let's spread stories that inspire change and build a better world.